Good evening, everybody.
Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. Can I have a motion to open up the January 25th Town Board meeting?
So moved.
Second. One, Bill, Doug, all in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is a public hearing. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, introduction to law number 12, 2023, amending the town code of the town of Goshen, chapter 89, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, article 5, weight limits, to implement the weight limit of 5 tons on Houston Road. Anybody from the board like to speak on it?
Yes,
Doug?
since that's across the street. That road is being used as a shortcut between 17A and 17M. And I've seen trucks that have 4 rear axles that are probably 60,000-pound trucks. And we have 4 subdivisions out there in that road with children. There must be 200 new houses out there. Eva Estates, Woodland Estates, Harness Estates,
Gabriella?
Gabriella, all these things. And so it is, and it's not a real wide road. Now, the other thing is the vast majority, I think almost all the roads in the town of Goshen are 5 tons. This is 10 tons or something. And I guess it was early on because it might have been a shortcut between the 2 roads. So anyway, I'm in favor of it. People in the neighborhood out there have talked to me about it. They don't understand how this has happened, and so I said, well, it's just, people learn. And I think some of these, where you put in your destinations on the navigation system will tell you the shortest way, and you don't look at the signs. So, anyway, that's where I'm at on it. So I'm glad we're doing it.
Bill? Anything?
No, I'm good.
George?
Yeah,
No, good.
I agree with
Anybody from
that.
the public like to speak up, against, for? No? All right, I have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt, local law number 12.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Yeah.
Phil?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Aye. Doug?
Aye. And thank you, board, because there's a lot of people who are going to thank you on this one.
Yeah.
Nobody actually made the motion to adopt. We went right into.
I said motion to adopt, yep.
Yeah.
Can I have a second?
And George.
I made the motion.
And Doug.
It's too fast.
Oh, we're fast.
All right, items for discussion. So we're gonna we've implemented a new policy here where we're gonna ask the department heads to come down and give once a month, give a overview of what's going on in their department. The only one that was prepared for it is Chief Post. So Chief Post, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Thank you, Supervisor Betro.
You can
I don't
use
know
the
what,
microphone.
excuse me?
Use the microphone.
Where do you want me?
Right there, wherever. You can sit in the chair.
Wherever you're
Comfortable.
comfortable. Wherever you're comfortable.
Two buttons.
I'll wing it without the microphone.
No, that's the way to record it.
They gotta
You
record.
gotta record it.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
They want you on tape, Chief.
Hello, everybody. Jim Post, Police Chief, Town of Goshen. Thank you for having me, Town Board. I've prepared a report to read tonight. I'll go through it quickly. I don't know if the supervisor had, or George had a chance to review it.
I did, yeah.
Okay, you're good with it?
Good.
I didn't see it there. You said you were going to give it to me inside there, and then you never gave it.
Okay, you want to review it? I'll talk for a few minutes. You want to glance at it?
No.
Okay.
Well, give me a copy. You can talk.
Okay. Oh, I can talk. How long do I have now?
Ding, ding.
5? So, this is the first time we've done this in a while here. I'll just tell you about my department quick. You know, we cover the town, surrounding the village. We don't go into the village and do much unless we're asked to. Currently, you have me, I'm a part-time chief. I have a deputy chief that's full-time. I've got 3 sergeants, 5 full-timers, and an assortment of part-timers, maybe a dozen. Highly trained, very good veteran, real good part-timers. You can feel safe at night and feel good. I got a good PD. I'll put them up against any PD in the county. We're just small. Yeah, I'll just read some notes that I took about what's been going on lately.
Good, please.
I was talking a little bit about our staffing. Officer Terrence Moore, born and raised Goshen. We hired him. He just graduated the police academy end of December, just before Christmas. He is now out there on field training. So Terrence Moore, he'll be going through field training probably till mid-March or so, and then he'll be done. He'll be out on his own. The holiday season, pretty much uneventful, no major incidents. We've had continued noise complaints in a certain part of town. Believe me, we are on it as best as we can. We had a part-time officer resign as of the first of the year to pursue other, he's got 2 or 3 other jobs, and he's just growing. Nothing against the department, he just had to move on, ran out of time. He couldn't give us enough time. We just received a grant, received a nice grant for a new live scan. That's the fingerprinting processing, electronic fingerprinting machine that every police department's mandated to use. No more ink fingerprints. It's a live scan system. The grant was up in the $30,000 range, 30+ thousand. Applied for it, got it really fast. We already have the system up and running. Nice state grant.
Did you get the money or just
No match, 100% grant.
100% grant?
100%.
And we got the money to buy the equipment, or?
We got
or
it
is
in already.
We buy it and get?
No, it came in already.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that DASNY?
Great, good job.
Excuse me?
Was that DASNY grant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, well, the state grant. I think
Yeah.
it was the DASNY grant.
Going
It was
towards Dodge
specifically
State, New
for,
York.
it wasn't a general, it was specifically for the live scan.
Right, great.
And Christine, budget officer, said it was the fastest turnaround she's ever seen.
Yeah.
So that was a good job all around. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I supervised it. You want to hear some notable events that we've had throughout the town?
Yeah.
This is about the last 30 days. I'll say a
Yeah,
few things.
Yeah, sure.
We have, we've been training for the last year, one of our new full-timers, Nigel. Officer Nigel does commercial vehicle enforcement.
With the DOT.
In other words, he teams up with the DOT inspectors, and they look for commercial vehicle violations, dump trucks, big trucks, little trucks, commercial trucks, basically. Buses, anything they see. The last time it snowed, not the big snowstorm, but when it snowed a couple weeks ago, they were out there doing it. 21 violations with 5 trucks put out of service, 15 traffic tickets issued, 1 arrest for a suspended license. So they're finding stuff. They're putting trucks out of service. That could be simply for a tail light. That means they sit in the lot until they get their tail light fixed, and then they're released. So that's a pretty good program, especially around here with the commercial traffic increasing. We've had a lot of fraud, a lot of people getting scammed. The IRS isn't going to ask you for Apple gift cards.
Yeah.
Through text.
Through a text message.
It's
When it
amazing.
happens, people just get caught up in these things. We've had extortions. Photos get sent out, like indiscreet photos are asked for, and people send them out of themselves. I don't know why. So it's a scam. And they're sending money. They have to send money out to get it to stop. We had a missing person down on Arcadia Road the other night. My officers went, it was like in the middle of the night, got reported. Guy was missing 24 hours, but my guys asked, was he at the casino? And they were told, no way, no way, no way. Guess where they found him? Well, he actually fell at the casino and he was in the hospital up there. So pretty good. Within 24 hours, they solved that one. Well, we solved it right away. We didn't know about it for 24 hours. A couple of bad accidents. You guys might have seen the pictures of the one last week on Pulaski. Horrendous accident. What a cooperation we got. Town of Warwick Police helped us like you wouldn't believe. Village of Florida Chief on scene trying to pry the guy out of it. He was pinned in the truck. I mean, everybody helped, and the troopers showed up, and they took it off our hands. It was just, it was going to be too big for us. They made an arrest on one of the drivers. Well, I take that back. They took blood from one of the drivers, pending the results. Let's see what happens.
First trooper on the scene was Trooper Post.
There was a trooper on the scene named Trooper Post. Yeah, that was a good one. First time
His granddaughter.
I wish. Yeah, my daughter's now a trooper.
Oh, my.
Just got out of the academy. Grand larceny from a local business. This is a good one. Local business down on 17M and Old Chester, a bike shop down here. The owner calls me in a panic one night, thanks me for taking his call. He tells me that he just received a call from a woman in Pennsylvania saying that like $2,500 was charged on her credit card there and she didn't authorize it.
Right.
He hangs up with her, he goes, I'll take care of it, it happens. He gets off the phone with me, he gets another shady guy calling 5 minutes later saying I'm sending my cousin up to pick up the snowboarding equipment. So we set up a little trap, a little sting. My officers waited in the area until they showed up. We came out, pretended, one of my guys pretended to work in the shop, went to make delivery, and we foiled him. So they got foiled.
Wow.
Nobody got arrested. They sent some Uber driver up to do it.
Oh,
Scared him a little bit, but
wow.
again, you should know as an Uber driver, you don't get sent 2 hours away to go get snowboard equipment at 2 in the morning when there's no snow. But anyway, or at like midnight. What else? You want to hear some stats? You don't want to hear stats, probably. We're busy. It's just busier. Yeah, it's getting busy. Calls are up, things are up.
Weren't there 2 robberies on 17A, the one at the pet store and one at the gas station?
So I went back only 30 days, but
Oh,
yes, Northern Bear was broken into, the pet store out there still in the town of Goshen, 17A, as far out as you can go into Goshen, the last place on the left, Northern Bear Pets. Overnight, it was a nasty one. I say that because they cut all the wires outside, the cable, the wires, so the cameras all went dead. They hacked up the back door, they hacked up the front door, they demolished, did all kinds of damage, went in, demolished the ATM, didn't get nothing. Didn't even get anything. So if you're listening, I know who it is, but we haven't quite closed the deal yet, but we're gonna close the deal on that. Luckily, some of the cameras were battery powered, we'll put it that way.
That's good.
So, then we had a couple of crazy break-ins at the Mobile on 17A.
Yeah, that's,
The Mobile in the middle of nowhere that somehow people find and it gets targeted for whatever reason. And we got really lucky. We had a burglary, which is when someone breaks in and doesn't forcibly steal from another person. It's just like a break-in. We had a burglary one night at midnight, catch it on tape, just barely missed that guy, the alarm went off. Turns out that same guy came back the next week, robbed him with a gun. The burglary didn't work, he robbed him physically. And then a week or two later, a whole nother burglary from a whole nother crew broke in. And unfortunately for this other crew, unfortunately for them, some police down in Westchester already had their car GPS'd.
yeah, so they wanted to
So they notified us that we saw you just had a burglary, 2 in the morning, we got a GPS on that car. They waited until they got down to the Throgs Neck Bridge in the morning, they closed down the bridge,
Wow.
spiked the tires, ripped them out the windows, and
Wow.
made a bunch of arrests. State police took the ball on that, from all that for us. All those break-ins and robberies, and the state police made arrests on every single one of them. It was awesome.
Great.
Good working relationship. My minute up.
Well, you must know a couple of people in the state
What?
police, right?
I may have them on speed dial, but I have a good relationship, and I make one call any time of the day or night, and that guy gets his guys, and
Yeah.
It's great.
it is pretty good, pretty impressive.
But those 2 on 17A made the neighborhood on 17A nervous.
It does.
I've been out there 32 years, never had it. Known of a robbery, 2 within a week. Oh boy, what's coming now?
I don't want anybody in the town to be nervous. You call us anytime, day or night,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
be there, we come out, we do, you don't even wanna know, we'll do anything. We're there to help. I do have a Facebook page, if anybody wants to go on it, Town of Goshen Police Department, look us up. We have Instagram. I don't know what it is, but we have an Instagram page. TikToks are coming. We're here to help. Soon we're gonna get a system up where there's alerts that go out to the town if you sign up for it.
We have that up.
We have it
We have
up.
that up and running,
Yeah.
Goshen Connect, so I'll put that on my Facebook page. That'll just have you know, emergency announcements and things like that, there'll be alerts that'll go out. And we're working on,
So we had two people that actually we sent to the academy. One guy was almost through the academy already when he came on board. But that guy is up and running already, right?
we have Billy Geit, he had already come to us having completed phase 1 on his own of the
Yeah.
academy.
Right.
All we had to do was send him to the 3 weeks of phase 2, which we did, he completed that. And I'll be honest, we got superstars out there. We got #1 draft picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrence Moore won the Defensive Tactics Award in the Academy. They love him. We got 2 #1 draft picks. Billy Geit's working now. I'll produce him if you want, Mary. He can come on over and introduce himself.
And
Yeah.
one other thing, a few years back, we had problems with the haulers going into the transfer station. So we issued permits to those people.
Mhm.
And then is that still up and running? Because when that first started, we had a lot of tickets being written because of the haulers weren't getting the permits. So what is the status of that now? Is that
They're all permitted.
They're getting all their
We do
permits?
that yearly, yep.
Yep, they're all
So
permitted.
it's still coming in?
Yeah, and the ones we, as I see new garbage disposals around town, I come in, we just got Roll with Joe, right?
Right.
He just signed up, and then we just got one more, Orange County Transfer or Transit. So, we're catching them, we're good.
Yeah,
Yep, good.
that's great.
Joe, can we ask,
Chief,
Absolutely.
can you characterize the background or location of these? I mean, you probably don't have that written down, but
Got it right here.
the folks that are committing burglaries, it sounds like they're from
Out of town.
Out of town, out of
Yep.
town.
Isn't it a good thing that the state police will take that over, because it's sort of a hassle to manage it locally?
So we've had a couple serious crimes, and we know instantly, pretty much, we can't handle this. So we've got our counterparts in the state police willing to help, whether it's the uniformed troopers that we need for immediate help, even just backup or helping on a scene, control the scene, and if it's a long-term investigation, I don't have guys that can go to New York City and hunt people down. We had to hunt the guy down, the supervisor knows, we had to hunt the bad guy down. He did not want to get caught. It took everything they could, and they found him down at Patterson, different identity, different name, hiding in what is it, Airbnb, in a basement in Patterson. So we don't have those, we don't have enough people.
Very, very little crime
Yeah.
committed by residents of the immediate area.
There's very little crime in Goshen. I'm not trying to scare people, that's why I didn't want to read these stats out, but there's things that happen, and they do happen everywhere. We just we're proactive as we can be, we're out there all night long,
Mhm.
deterring, part of our job is to deter crime. And that happens just by being out there. These guys put 50, 60 miles a night on each car, just being out there. And I see, sometimes things do happen, and I'll see our car drive right through the Healy parking lot, and then 5 minutes later, somebody goes in and does something. You miss them, but we do our best to deter it. We're working on another grant to, if you start seeing cameras go up around town, I'll explain what they are someday, but they're license plate readers. It's not to track people, it's to deter, crime. And I know I've wanted these license plate reader cameras for a long time. I haven't pulled the trigger on them, haven't been able to get them done yet, and if I would have had them where I wanted them, a bunch of these things would have been probably solved right away, if people are nice enough to put their correct license plates in their car.
Jim, what about the Narcan? You had to, resuscitate people.
We did, I think, last night, so we have some Narcan saves. We're proactive with that. We're part of the community that believes in saving everybody we can, no matter what. We saved somebody the other night.
Good.
I think the people in the house had already Narcaned them.
Right.
Very good. Anybody else?
thank you.
Bill?
I'm just curious about catalytic converter thefts. How are we doing with that? That was a hot item.
That was a hot item. Those are people are just organized theft people. They're so hard to get. Every now and then, they'll drop the hammer on them and catch you know, a whole bunch of them do it, they're so professional. We haven't had any in a while.
Oh, okay. That's what
It
I was
seems to
wondering.
have calmed down. I don't know if the price of catalytic converters tanked down, is usually what it is. But for years, you had bad copper thefts, and the price of copper tanked, and theft stopped. Or the price of PEX plumbing went up, whatever it was. But the catalytic converter thefts seem to have stopped. Big thing now with retail theft rings that go around are organized, like,
Smash and grab.
yeah, smash and grab, or they run into the department stores, load up, jump in
Yeah.
a stolen car with switch plates, and they're off to the races. But that doesn't happen in Goshen. Goshen, I'm telling you, we have a pretty good, very low crime rate. And I like to believe as part of it has to do with the enforcement, and the police, and the good citizens that live here. Traffic is another tough one, and I'm so glad you passed that law. Probably the worst intersection we have is Houston and 17A. We don't need tractor trailers or dump trucks in the mix.
Yeah, well, and I think Bernie's written a couple of tickets on Houston already, right?
Ernie's written a few, we have written a few. And while I got the mic, one more thing, I just saw this today, I saw these boxes on poles on Maple, which is a county road, Maple Avenue. I found out through the county DPW, they are radar sensing boxes. They have a sticker on them that says radar something. They're sensing speeds, amount of traffic, and classification of vehicles.
Who's doing the study?
The county has
Huh?
something to do with it.
County?
The
Oh,
county.
okay. I didn't hear anything about that.
They're like, I didn't either. Neither did Broderick, no. They're little like Pelican cases. And they're like zip tied to speed limit signs and telephone poles. I've only seen 2 of them. I haven't really been looking.
Huh.
But if you get any calls, that's what that is, some kind of
Usually
county
the DOT
study.
does that. Usually
Yeah.
the DOT.
DOT or
Yeah.
DPW.
Yeah.
That was with the commissioner last night. He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He does it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Anybody
Chief.
else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Time's up?
Thanks, Chief.
Time's
Yep.
up. Thank you.
Good job,
Yep.
thank you.
All right. Along with that,
Yeah.
next item on the agenda, discuss and approve the request from Chief Post for the additional $10,000 of ARPA funds for the camera to the high-speed incident area on Route 17. I think I've emailed everybody on this, but if
Yeah.
there's any discussion, anybody wants to talk about it, Chief is here to tell you what it is. Anybody needs to know?
Well, we were just talking about it.
Yeah, you just talked about it.
But no, these are actually, Jim, the $10,000 that we're allocating for the extra cameras, those are the license plate readers that we're putting up off of Burke's exit ramp.
There's gonna be a point to zoom, or what is it, pan tilt zoom camera that you can zoom in and out.
Mhm.
So to back it up a little bit, Burke High School, that's in the town, high school, and now they have an academy. They gave us full access to their camera system. So we can, at any time, we have an iPad, we can go right on there and look at all, any corridors.
Yeah.
God forbid there's a bad guy that comes to the command post with me, we got full access to their cameras. Part of their camera system is gonna include now, if we get this passed, one on the facade of the building, one point to zoom to cover the intersection,
Mhm.
and down at, start over?
No.
No.
And down at the bottom of the intersection, somewhere near the Burke sign facing Fletcher Street, the 3-way intersection there, we're gonna get every license plate of every car coming in, coming out, turning, going off the highway,
Yeah.
you know, license plate reader.
Good.
We'll get the plate anyway, then we'll have to, if necessary, if we deem appropriate, run the license plate through the motor vehicle.
So do you need a motion on that?
Uh,
Only because it's ARPA money.
Yep.
It's art
All
money,
right,
so moved that we approve the funding for this license plate.
Okay.
I make a
Second?
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, review and approve the resolution. I don't have a copy of the resolution, you have? I don't have to read it, but review and approve the resolution approving the consolidation of the 4 town of Goshen water districts. Any discussion?
Do you want it, Jeff? I have it.
No. Yeah.
It's on the tablet.
Yep. I didn't bring my tablet and I forgot it.
Yeah, I have one item I'd like to say.
Sure, go
I
ahead.
talked about it with Joe and a couple of the board members. It was a very nice public hearing we had with all the different water and sewer districts. A lot of good comments from a lot of people. And what crossed my mind is they made some very good points. I think that you say we're gonna do this forever, what we ought to do is a year from now, take another look at it and see that it still makes sense and that it's working. And then if we need to make changes a year from now, we can make the changes.
Good.
Don't have an issue with that. I mean,
Yeah.
we can review it on a yearly basis. We're gonna be reviewing the rates on a yearly basis.
Sure.
You know, as we stated when we're doing this, I know that it's a little uneasy for some people to believe they're carrying the cost of other people, but what they don't understand is the amount of grants that are gonna be generated because of the consolidation of this district. You know, I'll give you, for instance, Delaware, who's doing ours, also did the Village of Goshen's. They qualified the Village of Goshen for a $3 million grant with matching funds. So, I mean, the money is out there with matching funds to get the things that you need to get done, but you gotta have a consolidated district. They won't give it individually. We were fortunate enough to get $200,000 from Senator Scoofus for Hamiltonian Park's green sand system, but,
That's a good item. That's wonderful.
so, I mean, I understand where everybody's coming from and the hesitation of it, and everybody feels that, you know, we're carrying debt for different people and consolidating it, why should I have to pay somebody else's debt? But the overall average is gonna bring the cost down for everybody.
You gotta broaden the base, and once you broaden the base, it makes it easy for anything that may come up in the future. And that's really what I was looking for when Heritage came into Hamilton. The broader the base, the easier it is to get things repaired, rather than worry about one district. If there's a real colossal thing that happens in that district, then that district really suffers. So if everyone's on an equal playing field, then I think that this will accomplish that. But Doug's right, we should look at it every year and see all aspects of it, so, yeah,
I agree.
ready to go.
Coach, everything?
No, I'm good.
All right, so could I have a motion to approve the resolution of consolidation of the four town of Goshen water districts?
So moved.
Second?
Oh,
Second, all in favor?
You need a
I need a
resolution?
roll call.
Bill?
Aye,
George?
Aye.
Aye. Doug?
Aye.
Very good.
thanks, chief.
Thank you, man. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Chief.
Mary.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, good night.
See you tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Okey-dokey.
So item number 4, approve the motion to consent to the planning board serving as an agency on the Use Energy LLC project. We agreed to take lead agency. They objected in their last meeting and asked if they could take it on as part of their seeker process. I don't think any of us have a problem. We knew it was coming, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and just,
So moved.
we had no choice but to take lead
Yeah.
agency
Correct,
to start,
exactly.
you know.
Stop.
Yeah.
All right, so can I get that motion?
Doug made it, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Review and approve the January 11, 2024 town board minutes.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Review and approve budget officer Christine Cavalier's request to attend the GFO annual conference in April. And she's requested that Jen come along with her, who will be replacing her upon her retirement.
Great
So,
idea.
I'd like to make the motion, but I would like to request that they tell us exactly what went on and give us just a brief outline of what they learned
Sure,
at these seminars.
yeah, absolutely.
I think we have I saw the agenda.
Right.
But maybe there's some additional, okay.
Yeah, we'll ask them to come in after the conference is over. Attend the town board meeting.
Right,
Maybe the
just to see.
department head speech.
Yep,
Yeah, right, exactly.
do the department head reading, okay?
I make a motion
Just a
to
brief
approve the.
Bill, you made the motion.
Phil
and
made a
I'll
motion,
second.
Doug second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Information purposes only, Bruce Linsky is retiring from the highway department as of January 26, 2024.
How many years has he been down there, Mary?
Almost 20.
17, almost 20, I
Yeah,
think.
19 and a half or something?
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Need a resolution for that?
No,
No.
just informational
I don't
purposes.
think you can stop him, George.
We gotta send him a letter.
No, but should we ask that?
Come on, Phil, come
All right,
on.
counselor.
I saw you move, I'm like, I'll get this out.
You did.
All right. Discuss and approve the motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run for January 25th, 2024 in the amount of $2,423,105.60. That includes the payment to the fire district, and it also includes both payments to the Goshen ambulance that we approved. That makes up quite a bit of the 2.4 million.
I think it was like, yeah, 1.6 or 1.8 to the fire department, I remember seeing.
1.819 minutes to the fire district and 110,000 to the volunteer ambulance.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
171 to Florida.
Yeah, to the Florida Fire District. I think there's some for Chester too.
Right,
And I'll
there.
second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Do we need a roll call on that?
No.
No.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Good.
Privilege of the floor, opening it up.
Did you do number two?
Information, the
You
budget
gotta do number
officer,
two.
sorry. You
Yeah, I
don't
don't
have
have
to approve it, it's just,
I don't have it on mine, sorry.
I'm sorry. Christine Cavalier
Yeah, we
did,
performed an accounts payable review on January 25th, 2024.
Thank you.
All right, privilege of the floor.
Yeah.
One question, you were talking about the weight limits. What's the weight limit on Arcadia Road?
Good question.
It would be, if it's not.
If it's not
specific in
labeled
the
5
town.
tons,
It's
then
probably
it's just,
5 tons, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
no, we would be raising it to 5 tons.
That may be a little bit higher, only in that connects Goshen all the way over to
I should have asked Jim, I know that,
You know, it's 17.
17.
17 to 94.
94.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So
and quite honestly, I live on that road and I'm seeing more and more
Tractor
dump
trailers.
trucks coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Tractor trailers going
Yep.
close to there too.
Something that
They're
we should
taking a
probably look at.
shortcut rather than going down and going up 17A. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's the GPS thing.
Yeah.
I know.
And there's more traffic, well, since GPS, the traffic.
So what
So-
we can do is I'll have the chief, he has portable cameras, I'll give him access from my house, have him put it on, they see how many are coming by. I've seen them more and more too, because I live right on there.
I see them all the time, and I always make note of it. You know, if we start ticketing these guys because of the weight limits, and I don't know, do we have scales? It's always been a contention.
We don't have a scale, and I asked them if they wanted a scale, and Nigel's answer was, chances are, any dump truck is over the scale,
Yeah,
over the weight
right.
limit, without a load on it.
So can they ticket them?
Yes.
Because as soon as they do, if it gets back to Tets, and that's where they come out of, most of them, come out of Tets to take the shortcut, then the word does get around, don't do it. I know we had a problem when they fixed that bridge.
Yep.
And I met with the supervisor on Walk Hill and we hashed that thing out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they all started to go that way, and I
Yep.
said, no. So maybe if we tell our police department to start ticketing these guys.
I'll have the
On one
chief,
of these trucks, based on the number of axles, you can say, oh, that's a 30,000, 40,000,
Yeah.
60,000. And then you know that they're exceeding, even if they're empty.
But it's not just to punish them, the fact is
No.
that they're ruining our roads.
So that's why we're doing
That,
it.
that type of weight just ruins our roads, and that's even more of a concern than the
Sure.
safety
Yeah.
issues. Is that, so
Yeah.
it's very costly for us. Okay.
I
Maybe
agree
we'll
with
talk to them.
I'll get Chief Post to put his temporary camera out there, we start monitoring the trucks that come through.
Yeah.
Or I just have my wife sit outside like she does.
Just to answer, that standard is 40 tons. Is
40 tons.
the standard on road. I mean, I'm just going off the DOT page, but, so anything that's not listed specifically goes up that high.
I think most of ours are listed.
I think so too.
Most of ours are listed.
Weight limits.
Most of the crossroads
Yeah.
are listed, but if they're not listed, then they
Then
revert
they're
to
40
the
tons.
standard. It's not in our code, so it defers to.
It's a DOT issue, it's
Yeah,
not a
right.
town code, correct.
Right, but we can establish the tonnage on them.
Correct.
You could, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you can't, I mean, you can't go up, you can go
no,
down.
Well, I mean, you can on a state road.
No,
But on a
no,
town road,
on
we
a
can.
town road,
yeah.
right. We can reduce the 40 tons.
Like the same concept as the speed limit
Yeah.
is this everywhere unless it's otherwise posted,
Right,
right?
I
So the-
understand. Well, you know what, and we should really start looking at these roads and see which ones are not posted.
Any
I
crossroads,
can tell you the ones that are posted, the only ones that are that seem to be authorized to be posted would be, for weight, would be the ones that are 5 tons that are listed in the code,
Right.
that are in that law.
Right.
But we should start looking at the connecting roads
Right.
from highway to highway, like
Yeah.
17 to 94.
Well,
They're
yeah,
cut
but
through.
if you look at the ones that are in there, they're all crossroads, you know, 6.5 Station, Cheechum.
Right, right, that's, yeah,
Darwin.
okay.
Yeah.
Thurman Road, all those,
Collins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Owens Road is, I know, I got.
Yeah, I didn't think Arcadia.
We have
Arcadia's
to, we
kind
have
of-
to, take a look at that, on Derlin Road, because we're gonna have to we're gonna have to increase the weight limit on that. That's gonna be the cut-through road when they work on 94.
Okay.
Yeah,
How long?
How they got
A year.
Oh, my God.
Derlin's gonna be?
Derlin's the cut-through road for 90,
Oh,
for
to go to from the Chester end of it.
94 to
Yeah, yeah, I
17A,
got
because
you.
they're working
Yeah.
on that bridge
yeah.
going into the village of Florida. It's
Okay.
gonna be a year.
All right.
Wow.
When does that start?
I'm not sure when it starts. Brad got the letter, we both read it, he put some requests in there too.
What would they take then? They would have to go all the way around 17A? I mean, or basically back.
Right, we're
to
asking
back
the, we're asking the DOT to, label it, like, when you're coming out of Chester,
in. Yeah.
that there's gonna be a weight restriction on the cut-through road. Thought to get them
I'll
used
connect
to,
with Broderick, see if so we can maybe figure out.
but it's gonna be a year that cut-through. It's gonna take them a year to get that bridge fixed. Anybody else? Tom?
Yeah, I just would like to give a little upbeat on the visit we had from Amy's Kitchen and the Spirit of the Soul folks
Mm-hmm.
last week. They were extremely well informed on they should be on their business, but they presented very well.
Right.
And their top management showed up,
So,
Yeah.
everybody,
Correct.
where was this visit at?
So here,
planning board.
planning
Oh, the
board.
play, okay, I
Yeah.
thought you
Yeah, they, Andy was in, Rachel was in, Tom was,
Yeah.
Paul.
Paul was in, and Jen was in.
Okay.
So that's, lead attorney, owner, president, and,
And so what's their latest thing before the planning board now?
they just needed the extension, that's all.
They're
But they
looking
gave
to
it
build
27.
between
27?
2025 to 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice
The
people.
the one thing that, there was an article that had mentioned in the
Chronicle. Yeah.
Chronicle, and it said something about the planning board has not yet approved the water and sewer for that site plan or something, and I'm like, I thought we had
No,
contracts.
that was done.
Littleton,
No, it was done.
either the.
That was a
either-
mistake, I read it.
You
You told me.
yeah,
Definitely.
they were wrong.
So,
or it was like,
currently,
what?
currently Amy's has an agreement with the city of Middletown, as we're aware. They spent $6 million on putting a water and sewer
Right.
line in there. But we're also negotiating with Amy's, as we agreed to do, to take that over and create the district. So
Oh,
water and sewer is not an issue for them.
No, I just was very surprised that they said they're still, the planning board said, the site plan's still in negotiation.
Well,
And that
Well,
has
they
not
were-
been done.
can I comment on that?
Confused me, yeah.
They're out of sync. The Spirit of the Soul folks.
Science and soul.
Yeah, that's okay, go ahead. Yeah,
They're out of sync, building.
Yeah, they're well along in their
Sure.
construction, and they're planning to have meetings soon.
Correct.
They're planning to have at least a regional meeting
Right.
this summer,
Which is what, 10,000 people?
which
7,000.
they're estimating 6 or 7.
when they first came before this board many years ago, they said that they would have regional quarterly meetings of 15,000 people.
Right.
Right, they cut
Remember
this
that?
meeting down to just the northeast, though.
Yeah, but
So-
there weren't that many building sites on that piece of property. I'm not sure where that came from. I'm a little
Where what?
confused
Well,
because.
they explained this in some detail.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been really helpful, and maybe that's probably recorded. You may want to refer to it, because
It's-
Well,
they have done a lot of work.
They have a signed document, and we ran it by the legal people, okay? The fact is, we cannot take action on that site because of religious freedoms. I mean, you can't say to them, you can't start up until Amy's Kitchen starts up. It would be in court and we would lose.
Well, anyway, with regard to the water and the reason for them to work or have their two facilities come together, it made more sense for the water and sewer, because the sewer that the religious piece here puts out is about the equivalent of about 1 day of what Amy's
Right,
puts out.
yeah.
So they could take the sewage, they'd have no flow to push it to Middletown.
Right.
So the system they're gonna build is gonna be proportional to what Amy's needs. And the religious portion is now, I think, going to be containerized and treated kind of like a big
So-
septic.
They're gonna build a
I'll give
tertiary
you-
plant?
Yeah, I'll give you the explanation. So in the planning, in their planning board approval in seeker, okay, it's two-phase. The first phase is science of the soul, and they have holding tanks. And when the holding tank hits a certain level, it gets pushed out to the Amy side. Unfortunately, Amy's isn't built yet. So right now, the DEC gave them a 12-month permit to actually take it out like you would a septic system in your house. After that 12 months is over, they need to be connected to Amy's or to the town of Goshen. Whoever builds it's not a treatment plant, but a pump house. So they'll pump it over to the pump house, and then it'll be a pressurized run to Middletown. But right now, there's not enough pressure for it to go to Middletown. So the DEC is allowing them to pump it out. That was the whole premise behind that. That extension was because the seeker was approved to do it that way. There was no way around it, but in order to get this summer's festival, the DEC approved a 12-month pumping of the system.
But what I was sharing earlier, but if we go back several years, they were gonna start at the same time. One was not supposed to start before the other, for that very reason. Sewage flow, water flow, and all these things. But the Berliners had to slow down, and that's created a problem.
So, is there anything in our code that, don't they have to come before us, or they're not exempt? I mean, that's taking that type of sewage, no matter what, and building a septic system. That's just not an automatic thing. I think,
Well, they're not building a septic system.
well, they have to be building something.
Well, they already have it. They have the approved system that the planning board approved and the board of health approved. So it's tanks that are in the ground.
But that system is not operational until Amy's
That's correct.
is built, and they can push that over to Amy. So what I'm saying
Correct.
is, at this particular point, can we control the amount of people that come in? And that until Amy's is built and until they can properly do that? I know the DEC said, well, you can truck it out, but that's just not the answer. The answer is, you can't do it until you get all the proper,
It's something that you need to look at, Rory. I mean, I know the planning board authorized it, and they're
I
the,
really don't care if it's town code and we have
Yeah.
the final
Well,
authorization. And the problem with being is, well, if they can't do it, they just can't do it, and they have to wait for the system to be up and running. Because I'm gonna tell you something, you do this once, you set a precedent for the next 10 years, Amy may not be built, and they'll be doing this thing and trucking this stuff all over, and that's what I'm afraid of.
yeah, and I agree, and I guess I should have continued my answer, and I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh.
Part of the planning board process was Amy's was there to make sure they can start building their treatment plant. We held them off because of what's going on in the negotiation.
Right.
But if we don't finalize our negotiation with Amy's is gonna go ahead and build that
Fine.
system.
Let them build it.
Well, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is until it's built, and until all the criteria is met, I don't think they should have mass gatherings.
Well, they can't have the gathering this summer. Their DEC 12-month permit will be over well before that. That permit started
I understand.
6 months ago, so they have to get that filtration system up to par in
Okay.
order for
So it
the,
might be a moot point, is what we're talking.
correct,
Okay.
exactly. Either way,
I'll
whether
still
the
look.
town does it or Amy's does it, it will
Right.
be done.
Right, okay,
Bill?
okay.
Joe, one of my favorite subjects on Amy's, I've heard about the downsizing and blah, blah, blah. Is there a mechanism that's going to readjust the pilot payments that they originally negotiated, or how does that work?
Well, there are
It's 'cause
agreements in place as far as I know, and, it'll start once they're fully built.
What do you mean?
They're already paying, the improvements of their property, they well exceed what they were paying when it was vacant land. So I'll give you round numbers, I'm not exactly numbers, but when it was vacant land, maybe they were paying 40, their tax bill now is like 80.
Yeah.
And growing. So the premise behind people thinking that Science of the Soul is getting a free ride, technically they're not paying for their full facility, but they are paying taxation on it. Amy's is covering that taxation.
For Science of the Soul?
Yeah, because of the improvements to the Amy's property.
Okay, I think that's a point that's probably not well understood in the community.
Right.
Yeah, their taxation is increasing on a quarterly basis, let's say, because work is moving along in
Oh, okay.
Amos.
All right. Okay.
It's just not above ground, yeah.
No, correct, it's all, you know, dirt moving and piping in the ground, but that all improves the value of your property, so
Well,
that goes up.
they did put their
Yeah.
administration building up, and they put
Correct.
a bridge across the river. They spent some money, so they
Yeah,
they've got money.
I believe that they believe the value of the property as it stands today with the improvements is somewhere around $32 million.
Okay.
That's the Amy side?
What's that?
The Amy's side?
Yes.
Is that what you believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they feel if they had to sell the property as is, with all the improvements and everything, they're probably somewhere in the $32 million range, that they have invested already.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, that's what they invested in.
Invested already, correct.
So, just going back to what Phil was saying, I just want to make sure I understand this. They have a permit from DEC for 12 months. That's
Correct.
going to run out in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but it's gonna run out before the
Yeah,
August.
Let's say March or April, it runs out.
Mhm.
So then what's going to happen is Amy's is going to build their part of it, and they're going to then ship it over from whatever they would do.
It's a pump station.
Now,
Right.
to the Amy side, and then out to the sewer line that goes to Middletown.
Correct. Andy has committed to the town that if we're not finalized with everything that we're doing, he is ready to put the pump station in to facilitate the movement of waste from Signs of the Soul to the pump station to Middletown.
What it is, George, is if you take all the sewage from, that they can hold over Science of Soul, you move it over to Amy's, then they fill up theirs again, then when you hook them up, you've got twice as much sewage, which is enough to go in the line and go to,
So that's one
the city.
option. The other option is Amy's will not build it, and the town will receive the sewage,
No.
and it will be going to
No.
Middletown.
No,
There'll be some kind of agreement now.
If we
they have their
have,
own sewer line,
If we
that's
have-
between them and the city of Middletown.
Well, why wouldn't they, why would Amy's then build all of this stuff if they could just hook into the line that goes to Middletown?
we're making an assumption, they're making an assumption that if we don't finalize the deal to purchase the lines to Middletown, and the DEC, remember, it still needs DEC approval. We know how long the DEC takes.
Right?
So if the DEC takes 9 months, we can't get this done by time for their festival. The Berliners have committed to build that pump station and connect it to the lines to Middletown. It's all a timing issue, that's all it is. Either we're gonna build it, they're gonna build it, somebody's gonna build it before that festival.
Or no festival.
We're no best.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay.
Everybody's gotta hold it.
everybody's not gonna come.
Well, just following up
Or
what
bring
Phil
your
said.
sewage
the
home and throw it
Perfect
down.
opportunity, perfect opportunity here in my mind is we can't stop them on religious grounds.
No.
Apparently, everybody says that, I understand that.
Right.
But maybe we could stop this based on the sewage.
Well, why would you want to
issue.
stop it?
Right. What?
Why?
Yeah.
Because,
Gatherings?
because Amy's should be up and running
Yeah,
along with Science of the Soul. Science of the Soul was an add-on.
right.
And now Amy's, I think there's a pretty good chance that Amy's will never come here. That's what I think.
Yeah,
And then we'll have Science of the Soul.
yeah,
Yeah.
That really is
Yeah.
annoying.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to start an argument, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I would bet money that Amy's will be here.
I hope you're right.
I think they will, and I'll tell you why. When we were, 10 years ago, when they were talking, they make all these products out west, they ship them to the East Coast, and then they ship a lot of them to Europe. If you can make them here, you can save a lot of money on freight costs. And
Well, the incentives were to have jobs and so on and so forth, and that all fell by the wayside.
No, there's no
A lot of
question
the
about
things
that.
have
Yeah,
changed
sure. Oh, yeah.
tremendously since they first came to town. So I understand what George is saying. What we're saying is, we need to see.
We have to wait and see.
But George, George and I think the board originally, 10 years ago, was afraid that Science of the Soul, they were the engineer, and the caboose was Amy's, and they were running the show. And as it's manifesting itself,
That's what it is.
that's the way it appears. Because now Science of the Soul will be up and running and holding their whatever, and Amy's Kitchen still hanging out trying to build it. And I hope, obviously, I'm wrong, but lots of things have changed in the initial plan. There was always a reason. And we were always worried that Science of the Soul would be driving this train. And I'm still feeling that way 10 years later. So that's what we're afraid of. That's all.
Yeah, listen, I
Yeah.
understand it. We all have, you know,
We just gotta deal with it,
our
you know?
thoughts.
Because it's
We all
built
do.
now, that's the
Yeah,
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Yeah,
No, I
no,
understand.
good point.
You could deal with it by making sure that things are not done 100% correctly by Science of the Soul. That would stop them.
yeah.
Understood, George.
Stop them and, you know, Amy's, you know, if you want everything to go along, come on down. Let's see you in 24, not 26 or 27.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah.
Part of the thought, you have to understand that part of the thought, to feel that they're not gonna be here, all work would stop, and they're working every day down there.
Yeah.
They're moving dirt around, they're building pads, they've built a building, they're moving stuff. Plus, the negotiation that we have with them, we realize, the board knows, the deal that we negotiated, we're paying them no money for this. They're gonna get it on usage. So if they're not coming, they just wasted $6 million.
Yeah. Well,
They
well,
could always-
might have
they could always
wasted it.
sell the place.
No,
Right.
but see, the
Our
point-
agreement doesn't go along with that, I made that clear.
No.
Our agreement is specifically for Amy's Kitchen.
Right.
If Amy's doesn't come and they sell it to somebody else, we have that $6 million for free.
Yeah, I understand, but the issue is not with Amy's any longer, it's with Science of the Soul. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I got you.
It's with Science of the Soul and not Amy's, so.
I got you.
You know.
Understood.
And when they do come, we don't know what it's gonna look like, or how much it's gonna change. And hopefully it's, you know, but you know, we.
Myself and Rory went out to California, as everybody's
Right.
aware.
Yeah.
It was definitely, an eye-opener. Everything just was smooth.
Yeah.
You talk to people in there, they love them. They love the people. They throw money in, when they have their festivals. The gross national product goes up immensely in that town. They're quiet. You don't hear them. You know, it's not any, it's all, you know, meditation. They're meditating to cleanse their soul. It's,
Okay.
that's all I can tell you. I mean, you know, I was there, and you know, it would be great if other people went out there or visited the one. I think they have something up in Connecticut or something. But very calm people,
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Okay.
All right. Could I have a motion to close the January 25th, 2024 meeting?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.